Hello, it's Luke Carter from Psychic One-to-One Readings. This is a follow-on video from our basic video of how to read tarot cards, do yourself and for others. This is just exploring the 10-card Celtic Cross spread. So we presume you know how to shuffle and ask questions, and obviously I assume you've done 3-card past, present, future spreads, and maybe one with the advice card, or just a daily reading card, which can be equally useful for daily guidance. So this particular type of spread is very useful for delving into your query in a much more deeper way. So you get much more insights from many different angles, and it can provide quite astonishingly accurate readings. This is a 10-card Celtic Cross is one of the favourites amongst millions of tarot readers worldwide, and it's not hard to see why. Everyone has a kind of a different preference of what meanings each card has within the layout, but that doesn't matter too much. It's just what works for you and what works in combination with your deck. And of course, you can get different decks that focus in on different things like love, relationships, and some readers tend to have more than one, or maybe their go-to deck for just general queries. So without further ado, we'll shuffle and think of a query. It's very important to meditate and focus beforehand. You don't really want to be asking one question and kind of thinking something else. I mean, if that's the way it is, then of course you get a reading that reflects that, so just be aware of that. So yeah, just put your energy into the cards, give them a good shuffle. And remember, you cannot really go wrong when you're picking a card. Obviously, if you have a professional reading, they'll come up with a lot more insights using their psychic gifts, but you can develop this too over time. But like we always recommend, if you're not skilled, it's good to get to not only build up your own reading skills, but to seek out the help of a professional reader as well, because they'll show you the potential of tarot reading, which will inspire you. They'll also show you how to relax. And relaxation along with trust is a major ingredient in building intuition. Okay, so we'll spread out the deck now, or you can hand it to someone else to shuffle. It doesn't matter, because you'll use their energy for the reading. It doesn't matter if you then carry on after that, because their energy will be instilled into the deck. Just make sure next time you knock on the cards of your stronger hand and put your intentions and energies back into the cards to clear them and to re-energize them. So now we have we have a nice spread of cards. Just pick out 10 of the cards that we are drawn to. It doesn't matter what they are. Pay attention to when you feel like you found the card you're interested in. Just take that, and if another one comes out, then use that as well. So for example, you end up with 11 by accident, just use the 11. Maybe use the 11th as an additional advice or something towards that line. But if not, usually one more falls out, we say just keep it out, because that's obviously fed up for a reason. So we'll choose 10 cards. This one just came out, so I guess I'll take that. I'll trust the intuition there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we'll have 10 here. Okay, so this forms the answer to your query, what you focused on. So apart from any images that you had during choosing the cards, they can be part of your reading, but also when you turn them over and they form the placements and you start to interpret them, not only relationship between the cards, you'll also be wanting to establish connections between your intuition and the cards to see what additional information, thoughts and feelings you come through. So it's really important that you relax and trust in the cards. So we'll build the 10-card Celtic Cross. So the first card we put down there. Second card crosses over. Third card, fourth card, fifth card, sixth card, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Unfortunately, that came up with the one of the heading cards, but that's okay. Wouldn't be a live video otherwise. Page of Cups. We'll take that one. Okay, so now we have 10 cards. We'll go into the relationships of the meanings. So if you click on the links in the resource box, you'll be taken to our website where you have various different resources, and we've got a couple of links which show good websites to look into what the meanings are, or you can consult the book. Obviously, if you do pick up a card and it's the other way, leave it in your reading. It's important that it's this way for a reason. It's not necessarily bad, it's just has a different meaning, a reversed meaning, and it's how the cards relate to each other. And as always, it's how all the cards within the placement relate to the surrounding cards. So the more you get used to tarot, the more you identify it's the strength of the relationship between the cards as well as the individual cards. So now we know that we can search for the meanings either online from a book, that's fine, and use our intuition to see how they apply and kind of relate to us personally. Then it's important to understand what the placement meanings are. So for example, with a 10 card Celtic Cross spread, 1 represents the current situation. Of course, every different placement and layout of the cross actually can have a different meaning depending on where the cards are, but in this case this is the one that we use the most. So yeah, we've got the current situation, we've got the challenge, and the challenge, if overcome, based on the guidance in this card, will make the outcome much more easier in general. So it's really important to take note of the challenge. Got the recent past, or what led to the challenge, which is very important as well. And then we've got the future, but kind of over the immediate future, next few weeks, which is always good to know. That's why this sort of spread's really important to delve into all the different aspects. Then we've got the driving forces consciously, and then we've got the driving forces unconsciously, which is very interesting to analyse the relationship to what you're thinking and what you're feeling subconsciously. And if you can match them up, it's really important in your life to be able to do things like that. Then it's going to be a lot more beneficial to the outcome. So we'll put this back, all that doesn't matter which way. There they are. Card number 7 in this case is an advice card. The advice card is going to be really important to affect the outcome, so it's good to pay attention to that. And then in this case we have external influences outside of our control. Very important to take note of them to understand the landscape you're working within energetically. And then we've got hopes and fears. Now, hopes and fears can be interesting because sometimes they can be so closely related. For example, you could have a hope, but then you could have a fear that the thing you're desiring might not come true. So they can be, you can almost will them not to happen. So it's important to recognise that hopes and fears can be closely related, not always, but if you have got a situation like that, just relax and don't push things away. Draw them towards you and feel good about your life and the things that are happening to you. Sometimes when we do have little challenges, it's important also to realise that that's not bad either sometimes. As long as we have faith and trust and we know that we're progressing, then it can be known as a divine storm where we're led from one thing to another, and that's fine. As long as we recognise and appreciate things in daily life, we'll be on the right course for more joy, fulfillment and all the heavenly treasures. This is the outcome card. If you don't like the outcome, then of course it's easy to change. You just have to bear in mind this whole reading and that you'd have to change your course to change the outcome. But this is bearing in mind if you stayed on your current course, this is the whole situation. But then we've got the challenge and the advice. So how them two relate together will dictate not only the outcome, but make the whole process easier. So the 10 card Celtic Cross is a fantastic spread for beginners and experts alike. Of course, you can use any combination and layouts of cards you want. There's horseshoe spreads and there's lesser number of cards, but 10 cards very good. You can even choose cards with pendulums. You can have 3 cards in front of you and use a pendulum to choose which one, like we mentioned in the pendulum video, and which one it's drawn to can potentially be the answer. There's so many different ways of using divination together, and many mediums and psychics, they use tarot cards as a way to further enhance their readings, throwing up things that you might not consider previously. or to provide confirmation, such as tarot, medium, and pendulum. They all work together, and obviously when you get 3 confirmed sources, it's probably more likely the psychic energies are correct. So yeah, this is a fantastic spread, and it's very easy to do, and the more you do it, the more you'll get attuned to it and trust in it, and you'll notice that all the time the cards drawn, they apply pretty much specifically to you. It's always astonishing how accurate they are. If you do the reading for someone else, you'll probably notice that they get a totally different set of cards, despite you having done 10, 20 readings on yourself and getting similar cards, based on your query, of course. So yes, we recommend checking out our resources, and we hope you have lots of inspiring and empowering moments. So many thanks, and have a great day.